It is podcast time. I'm James Piecowye. Glenn Power is here. I've got a question. I'm going to kick off right away with a question. When is it too early to lay on the horn of your car at a traffic light when it goes from red to green?
So, on the LED type modern ones, they go off so quickly. The amber goes off so quickly and it goes to green so quickly that I don't think it's ever too early. It's on green. It's on green, man. Got to press it. On the more old school ones where you can still see the amber light fade out and then someone's on the horn, no, that's not acceptable.
I don't know where everyone's listening to us from, and I'm glad you're listening, but there is a tendency here in Dubai to remind people in front of you that they are in a vehicle and they need to start going as soon as that light changes.
Do you know what it is?
Oh my God. I mean, today, the light hadn't even changed.
Yeah.
And the guy was on his horn behind me.
Yeah, because you'd still got your foot on the brake. You could see your brake lights and he's like, this guy's not ready to go.
And since I have no windows, he could also see that I had both hands on the steering wheel and I wasn't on my phone. Like, he could clearly see the sweat running down the back of my neck. Yeah. Like, he knew. I mean, I wasn't falling asleep.
Yeah.
I mean, I want the car to start going because I need the wind.
I need the air. Yeah. Well, was it not just another roofless Wrangler driver giving you the salute? The audible salute?
Maybe. You
never know.
Yeah. There we go.
No, those, I tell you what it is, right? Because you'll see it at the traffic lights and you see people, if you look across in a 2 or 3 lane situation and it's at lights, there's always one either to the left or the right with their hand on the horn ready. Yeah.
Yeah.
You see them, they'll drive with their hand on the horn at set of lights, and then as soon as it goes green, it's beep.
It's got to be cultural. It's got to be driving. I mean, I know it's a lot of guys.
Because everyone drives an automatic. So what it is you've got your foot on the brake and you've got nothing to do with your left foot. Right. And natural driving is 3 pedals, right? So if you've got your biting point to worry about on your clutch, you can't be thinking about pressing the horn. It's like tapping your head and rubbing your stomach.
Okay, that's it. So we need to go back to manual transmissions.
There's more reasons to go back to manual, you see?
Yeah, okay, I got it. If you're in Cyprus and you lay on the horn like that, you're going to get a ticket.
Yeah, technically you can hear, right? Technically you can hear, but I think the UK it's certain times, like after 7 p.m. or something, you're not supposed to use your horn.
Really?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But
Glenn Power, James Piecowye, Powerworks Podcast, coming to you from the Powerworks Garage. If you're on 100.3, the home of news, sport, and conversation, welcome. However you're getting us, whatever streaming service, whether you're watching shorts, whether you're watching regular length, I don't know how you're getting us. I know how you're getting us, but I don't know how you're particularly listening to us at this moment, but welcome. Great to have you with us. We're going to talk cars. And I got to jump in. We got a message on YouTube from someone who was watching one of our shorts, and it was one of the shorts talking about flooding and vehicles.
Okay.
And we were talking about lights. Basically the shorts were all about how do you know if a car has been through a flood situation?
All right.
And the gentleman, and I know it's a gentleman because he said he was, question was, okay, I've gone through the old flood situation. My engine is toast. How do I get the water out of the cylinders?
Well, it's kind of a waste of time, really. If you've got water in your cylinders and your engine's damaged, I mean,
that's it.
It's got to be stripped down anyway. But the fun way to do it is to on a petrol engine or a diesel engine, which is the same, really, I guess. But on a petrol engine, take the spark plugs out. If it's a diesel engine, take the glow plugs out, and then hook the battery back up and turn the key like you're trying to start the car. And then the pistons will move up the cylinder unless they're badly damaged from the hydrolock situation the water created. And they'll force the water out at a great speed. Don't be over the top of the openings where the spark plugs or glow plugs are at that point. Because if we took the bonnet off of a car and had it on the floor with water in the engine, took the plugs out and cranked it, we'd hit the ceiling easily.
Wow.
You'd hit the ceiling easily in the warehouse. And what are we talking? Maybe 10 meters, are we? Maybe. It's high. It'll go a long way. And if you're right over the top of it, I think I've sent you a video before of a BMW that
you have. It's a geyser.
Nearly put a hole in the bonnet. So it is what it is. But it's kind of too late at that point. Yeah, you get it out. But if the engine's had water in it, an engine is just a compressor, basically. It's just compressing a fuel and air mixture, whether that's petrol or diesel, it's just compressing fuel and air. You cannot compress a liquid. That's why we have hydraulics, right? That's how hydraulics work, and that's how we get hydraulic advantage, and that's how we can have brakes when we press our pedal with our foot in a car. You can't compress a liquid, so the liquid won't give. There's nowhere for it to give, and there's nothing for it to give into. So what will give is the metallic components of the engine. Usually the valves are the first one because they're the smallest, so the valve stems, the valves will bend. But quite often you'll put a hole through the side of the block, or you'll damage the connecting rod that will bend, and then the piston will come out the side of the block, or whatever. There's many things that will happen and can happen. So you just have to, at that point, if the engine's cut out because water's gone in it, you're going to be very, very lucky if you're able to start that thing up again.
And you got a lot of money coming out of your wallet.
Yeah. I mean, look, we've seen, and we're still seeing the pain that people are in. There's still people with vehicles off the road waiting for insurance payouts and insurance repairs. Yeah.
I mean, everyone around the world has seen the Dubai floods.
Yeah.
I wouldn't have believed that people are still waiting for insurance payouts and still waiting for repairs.
Listen, I think, it's something that nobody could have been prepared for. And listen, how reasonable are our insurance quotes, right? How reasonable is it? I remember, I've got an R32 out there. If I went into the UK and bought an R32 and tried to get insured on it, I'm paying maybe £3,000. I've got no claims because I've not lived there for so long, and I'm a male, and it's an R32. It's a desirable car for a thief. It's relatively powerful, particularly in the UK market, and it's guilty by association in the fact that it's probably been involved in a lot of accidents, that type of car, because of the way and the type of driver they have. So my insurance is going to be maybe equivalent here of 10,000 dirhams. I've got one here that I insure for 800 dirhams.
Wow.
Right. And also not only am I insuring it for 800 dirhams, because I've insured it, you can drive it. Right. Because you have a license and you can drive the car. In the UK, that's not the case. If I pay the 10,000 dirhams for the insurance, I am the named driver. If I want to put my wife on it, I have to pay extra for her to drive it.
Yeah.
Right. So
and it's like that in North America as well.
Yeah. So we've had it with such reasonable DJ 6.2 Camaro SS, like
Camaro, not a Camaro. Let's not go down that path.
Well, I suppose they are made over there, aren't they? But you can't even get one insured in the UK.
Yeah,
really? They're just gonna laugh at you. I mean, there's Land Rovers that insurance companies aren't insuring in the UK now.
Get out of here,
because they're too easy to steal.
Well, I got told by my son, the chef, this summer comes into the house. I'm sitting on the sofa, just enjoying a cocktail, and he storms in. He goes, "Dad, just first of all, why didn't you lock the doors of your car?"
Yeah,
it's got a soft top, but still, lock the doors. And second of all, why don't you have the burglar bar on the steering wheel? It's in the driveway. Put the burglar bar on the steering wheel. You're not in Dubai. Yeah. You're not in Dubai.
Crazy. Yeah. I mean, we had the same thing, and that's we were back in the summer in the UK, and it's like we're walking around. You can't say mall because there are none there, but it's a shopping centre, which 95% of the shops are boarded up. But you're walking around there, and I'm like saying to the girls, girls, you've got to stay with me. You've got to stay with me. Either in front of me so I can see where you are, or holding my hand. You're not behind me. No, you can't go into the toilets on your own. You're going to have to wait. You get so used to it here.
Yeah.
Right? And it's no different with the insurance. That's why they're not. We have it good. They've gone up now, right? Naturally, the policies have gone up because they've got lots to pay for, but we've had it good for a long time. Now that's also can be put back on them and say, look, guys, you've had it good because you haven't had floods to deal with, and now, so it's got swings and roundabouts, and obviously the little man has to pay the price, but it's still not crazy expensive for insurance here. It's still relative to the rest of the world, or particularly the world where we're going to say we're from. It's cheap.
Here's an interesting one. So back in Canada this summer, driving around in a 2008 Jeep Wrangler, yellow. Everyone who sees it says, "Did you take your Jeep from the UAE and bring it to Canada?" And it's like, no, but it does look exactly like one of our Jeeps here. And two phenomenons that one of them I was aware of, one of them I wasn't. The second phenomenon I was absolutely not aware of is called ducking, Wrangler ducking or Jeep ducking,
Right.
which is born out of somewhere in Canada, some small town, but obviously migrated to the U.S. as well, with tiny rubber ducks get placed on the dash of the Jeep Wrangler. No, not everyone does it, but we got this Jeep Wrangler, had a bunch of ducks on it. I said, got to get those things off. My son said, Dad, you can't do that. And I'm thinking, really? This is kind of kooky. Although it does make people smile at crosswalks. Driving down Bank Street. So anyone who knows Ottawa in Canada, driving down Bank Street, we are across from Lansdowne Park. So we're in the Glebe. At a set of lights, just stop. Wrangler drives up beside us, beeps the horn. He's got no doors. We got the windows down. Passes me a duck, smiling, says, have a great day. We're sitting in an IKEA parking lot. We've gone into IKEA. I don't know, we're getting something, tablecloths or, napkins or something. As you would do at IKEA.
Yeah.
Come out, there's a duck on the door handle of the Jeep. And I'm just going, what the heck is going on?
There you go.
So we've embraced it. So ducking, which has not happened here yet, but I think it needs to. The second thing that doesn't happen in the UAE, and this is a huge stressor in North America with Jeep Wranglers. And anyone who's a motorcycle driver, maybe even in the UAE people do it, but a lot of Harleys. Harley sees another Harley on the road, you give them the wave. In the UK, if people are on motorcycles, they give them the wave. Well, Wrangler owners give Wrangler owners the wave. Any Wrangler you go by, a couple fingers are coming off, it's getting the little wave off the steering wheel. It's a stressor because you got to, it's a good thing because now you're really cognizant of the road and you keep your eye on the road, but it's also a stressor because you don't want to miss waving to someone because you might need their help.
See, in the UK, sometimes people on motorbikes get a couple of fingers waved at them as well, but it means a bit different there.
Yeah.
But
the Wrangler wave, it is real.
You'll have to buy one of those prosthetic hands that you can stick on the dash so it looks like your fingers are up to wave it, so you never miss a wave.
Yeah, and mine's easy because it's yellow and it's got a huge exoskeleton. I'm usually hauling stuff.
Yeah, just loads of anything.
Yeah, tables, chairs. Where are you gonna put that on Jeep? We can put it on the roof.
Yeah,
okay.
The roof's not on it,
brother. That's good. It's when you go into Home Depot and you're looking for four guys. Guys, I need some help lifting this onto the roof of the Wrangler, and they're going, your Wrangler's got a lift kit on it, man. Like,
yeah, what are you doing
guys
to
are
me?
4 feet 5 inches tall.
What are you doing to me? Yeah, mate. Well, look, a couple of dollars tip.
Exactly. No,
Good.
All
Everyone's
good.
happy with
all
it.
good. But yeah, it was fun getting out in the Wrangler. Like yourself, we did a 10-day road trip at one point, and I think it was probably about 4 days too long.
Yeah.
It was nice, but I just wanted to go home.
Yeah.
I just wanted to be. I liked when I got to everywhere, and we were driving through some parts of Western Ontario, and so if we can get out your atlas. Does anyone use an atlas anymore? No, you just go to Google Maps.
Google Maps, yeah.
So go to Google Maps, type in Grand Bend, Ontario, and you'll get a sense of where we were on the west coast of Ontario. It's on Lake Huron, and we're driving, and it's farming country. And at one point, I'm on the road. I'm driving a 2008 Wrangler. I drive a 2008 Wrangler here, so I know how far you can go on empty. I'm not sure exactly on this vehicle. And I'm driving down these roads, and there's no main highway. So it's basically like driving in the UK. There's no M1 or anything at this point. You're on the country roads, but there are also no petrol stations. And all I'm trying to figure out is where are people getting petrol because I'm going to run out. I was starting to sweat.
That's not good. That's not good.
Semi-trailers, giant trucks. I don't know where people are getting gas. I have no idea.
Made it though.
We did.
Just made it.
Just.
Yeah. Well, whenever you see, you ever see anything in Canada, you send videos from Joey sometimes across to me, and it's like everything's so huge and vast, and the roads, and it's not like you can see anything. Like in the UK, we went from a relatively large city, Halifax, to a pretty major city, Leeds, in Yorkshire. And the whole way, pretty much, at least 90% of the way was single-track country roads.
Oh, man.
Right?
Yeah.
And you forget when we live here that it's 4 lanes each direction at minimum, and you've got, the there's always a petrol station somewhere or something that you can sort out. And in the worst case scenario, you call the mobile fueling guys.
Yeah.
But then you get home and you forget about all that. You have to fill your own fuel. You have to get out of the car and do it yourself. Then you don't know where the petrol stations are going to be. So, you get stuck behind a tractor with a load of hay on the back.
Oh, man.
These things are, they do take some time to get used to, and you just about get used to it. Then the summer's over and you're back here to normality as we come to know it.
Exactly.
Yeah. But we rented and this is a good indication of the UK. So we rented a medium car.
Okay, medium-sized car. All right, hold on. Medium-sized car would be like the size of a Mazda 3 or a Malibu?
No. Suzuki Swift.
What?
Yeah. Hybrid. It was a hybrid as well.
A hybrid Suzuki Swift. So you got reduced space. That's a medium-sized car. So what's a big car?
I guess a large car would you'd probably class a Golf as a large car based on that metric.
A Jetta?
Yeah.
Wow. So you got four of you in a Suzuki Swift.
Yeah.
You got 3 women in your family and yourself.
Yeah.
Are they light travelers, your women?
Well, we didn't rent it from the airport. We got picked up at the airport.
Okay.
So we got picked up at the airport by a sister-in-law.
What was she driving?
So she was in a Ford Ranger.
Okay.
Pickup. So we had loads of space for the cases and stuff, which is fine.
Thankfully.
But we've always been 2 cases, but now the girls are getting bigger. It was 3. So you're sort of struggling, aren't you?
Yeah.
But we did have a few days away in North Yorkshire, and packing the car was interesting.
I would imagine 3 cases, and we're talking square suitcases.
So we just we managed it with 1 case, and we were only away for a few days. And like I say, the weather wasn't too bad, so we took a gamble in that we're not going to get wet through. So we'll probably be okay with a few less sets of outfits. But it was interesting to the sort of saving grace on the car was we probably did. Or we easily did 6, maybe 700 miles in the car over the 3 weeks. And I only put £120 of fuel in it, which is, probably just short. It's less than 100 litres.
Yeah, that's big. So what did you think of the Swift?
Shocking. Apart from the fuel economy. Shocking. Real bad. Tacky. So it was brand new as well. It was like 6 months old.
Okay. So it should be in pristine and prime condition.
Yeah, well, it was in good condition.
Yeah.
And I understand it's a rental, so it's not necessarily going to be top spec, right? That's fine. So everything inside that, looks like a 1950s plastics convention would look, it's just horrible, tacky, rattly, nothing, like you shut the door and think, oh God, I've just knocked something off the other side of the car. Just not the most comfortable. The seats were shocking, but you put it in reverse, right? It's got this big screen. Now I don't need a screen in the Suzuki Swift rental. If it's bottom spec, it's bottom spec. I don't need a screen. But if you're going to put one in, right, put one in. This screen's there. You put it in reverse, and it's like somebody's got an old Samsung flip phone, sellotaped it to the back of the car on the VGA camera, and put the image to the screen. It was really bad, really, really bad.
So it rains as well in the UK. Yeah. So as soon as that little camera gets wet,
really
you couldn't see anything.
Like, I don't need that. But if you're going to do it, do it. Yeah. We can buy lenses now are so cheap.
Yeah.
That was not acceptable. The screen resolution was poor. The lens quality was poor. And the only thing I can think of is maybe, they've had these cameras and screens in stock for the last 10 years and Suzuki don't sell enough cars to get rid of them all, so they're still putting them on the new cars. But
maybe.
It just wasn't a good effort at all from them. It was not good.
You've got 2 young children. You're going to be you're driving, you put your seat, you're going to have to put it back. How was the legroom for that?
Well, that was the thing. I did have to have my knee sort of touching the dash to make it so they could fit in the back, which isn't the car's issue. It's my issue, but as a medium car. Yeah. So that wasn't great. The kids liked the back because they had windy windows. not electric windows.
They still put Armstrong windows in cars.
So they
I haven't seen Armstrong windows come in a car in
brand new Suzuki Swift, and they enjoyed playing with those. It also, the reason they enjoyed that is because novel, obviously, but also I can't press the button and lock them.
Right.
So it's like windows down. Okay, child locks on. You get out of the car, windows are down. They're opening the door handle from the outside. That's why they like the windows.
Of course.
Yeah.
They've got control.
Yeah.
They have liberty.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't think they were still putting those in cars. I thought everything was electric now.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
sunroof?
No.
Okay, that's good.
No sunroof. It had
USB connectors?
It had 2 of those.
Front and back, or just in the front?
Just in the middle, yeah. Well,
okay.
I mean, the front is the back. It's so small. But it had 2 of those in the centre. It had DAB radio, digital radio, which was absolutely useless in the wilds of the UK where we were. Didn't have much signal for anything. We picked up Absolute Christmas at one point.
Okay.
But it was playing rock and roll. Obviously too early for them. But yeah, it's, we use this rental company because the prices are great, and it's a little small independent. Okay. It's not a big branded one. And like to support the little guy, right?
Yeah, obviously. And you know what? Look, I like Suzukis. I like the Suzuki brand, and generally speaking, their cars are pretty decent. I think it's...
there's nothing wrong with the actual...
I think it's just be aware what you're getting. And I think as a little city commuter that someone might say is a fairly inexpensive vehicle, so if it needs to, if it gets a little scratched, a little dented, a little bumped, spill something inside, and you're not going to go, oh, this is my pride and joy. It's just like, I don't know if anyone wakes up and goes, oh, I can't wait to get into my Suzuki Swift. I'm not sure.
No, probably not. No. When they first came out, and like as a car for a first-time driver, the old sort of bubbly shaped ones that had the stripes on, and they look pretty cool for a first-time 17, 18-year-old, but it doesn't work for, it's not the kind of, I don't know, and I've never sat and worked it out, and I don't know that I would be able to. I'm sure the data's there. But what benefits carbon emissions more in terms of bringing them down? Everyone driving a small car like that, which must have had terribly low emissions, because it used no fuel.